Crestline Coach would like to welcome you to the 1990s with your new Sprint modular ambulance. The 1990 Sprint features the latest in thermalite and aluminum construction to provide you with a working environment that will satisfy your exact needs, efficiently and comfortably. A rigorous testing schedule ensures that emergency personnel and patients alike can interact in the safest environment possible.
How are you doing? All right? Is the pain still there? Okay.
As in past models, the 1990 Sprint has been designed primarily to transport 2 patients, both on full-size cots. However, if an emergency situation were to occur, the Sprint has the capacity to carry 5 walk-on patients and an attendant in the patient compartment. Given the many unique and innovative design features present in the Sprint, this video has been developed to educate both the ambulance user and maintenance personnel. This video has been sectioned according to the following format. Number 1, general information. Number 2, exterior information. Number 3, interior information. Number 4, the charging system. Number 5, maintenance and repair tips. And number 6, 1991 model updates. Due to Crestline's commitment to improvement, the 1990 Sprint features many new and innovative designs that set it apart from its predecessors. However, you'll find this vehicle still has the same care and attention to detail you're accustomed to. The Sprint modular ambulance can be mounted to either a Ford E350RV cutaway chassis or an F350 truck chassis. For the purpose of this video, an E350 chassis will be used. However, this video applies to both chassis. We recommend you thoroughly read the literature supplied by the manufacturer to become further acquainted with the characteristics of your particular chassis. In addition to this video, each Sprint is equipped with a comprehensive owner's manual that details all aspects of the Sprint. Read the Crestline manual thoroughly. The manual will reinforce or further explain the details covered in this video. Finally, this video and the accompanying Crestline owner's manual will introduce you to many maintenance and repair tips. However, these should be thought of as a general guideline only and should not supersede any preventative maintenance or vehicle servicing programs already approved for your ambulance service. With this in mind, let's look at the Sprint. Visually speaking, the 1990 Sprint is very similar to past Sprint models. In addition to the lighting required by the Canadian Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, the Sprint warning light system features full 360-degree visibility with red flashing lights on the grille, on the rear of the unit, and on both sides. The warning lights are further supplemented with a light bar, intersection lights, and wigwag-style headlights. The scene lights consist of 2 dual-purpose scene backup lights on the rear of the ambulance and 2 scene lights on each side, with the rearmost scene light being a flood-style light and the front a spot-style light. All emergency lighting is controlled by the driver's console in the front cab area. The driver's console will be covered in detail during the interior orientation portion of this video. The Sprint exterior features 2 full-size entry-exit doors complete with windows and a door check to assist in the opening and closing of the doors. All doors should be opened and closed in a controlled fashion to minimize potential damage to the Sprint and any objects in the vicinity. In the unlikely event that the rear door gas shocks fail, slide the gas shocked clips into place to keep the hatchback door from closing. Finally, the entry-exit doors feature manual override switches that turn off various automatically activated lights. These switches should be engaged whenever the doors are to be open for extended periods. The side door override switch turns off the front right interior lights. The rear door has 2 override switches. The first will deactivate the left rear interior lights, while the second will deactivate the rear scenes that are automatically turned on when the rear door is open. The Sprint also features 2 exterior compartments. The compartment located at the front right of the modular box allows access to the spare tire, portable stretcher, the main oxygen tank, and the air conditioner hoses. The compartment at the rear of the Sprint allows ready access to the backboards, pry bars, scoop stretcher, and has plenty of room for other miscellaneous equipment. The compartment light is activated whenever the door is opened and can be manually shut off by the override switch. A two-handed effort is required to close this door and the front right compartment door. Simply press the door tightly shut with one hand and twist the handle with the other. This exterior door allows you complete access to the electrical control center. The electrical control center is the heart of your ambulance and contains all the major electrical components used in the distribution of power throughout your conversion. This is the exterior battery box. This compartment houses the deep cycle RV battery that's dedicated to the ambulance conversion. And finally, this is the gas filler pot. Remember, this is a diesel motor. Do not use gasoline products. This portion of the video will be particularly useful to the ambulance attendants. However, maintenance personnel will also find this portion interesting, since certain items described will require occasional servicing. Starting in the front cab area of the Sprint, we find the driver's console. The console has been designed by Crestline to give the driver complete and easy control over all the electrical emergency aspects of the ambulance, like the light bar, flashers, and the PA system. An indicator light on the right side of the console face tells the driver if any exterior doors are ajar. To the left of the console are the control modules for the throttle. The throttle is activated by the on-off switch, and the module to the right indicates the charge condition of the factory battery system. Under the driver's seat is the tachograph and hour meter. The chassis jack is located under the passenger seat. And finally, this is the location of one of two fire extinguishers in the Sprint. Now, let's move to the Sprint patient compartment. This is the standard configuration for the patient compartment. On the left is the primary cot. This should be the position of choice when transporting one patient. On the right side is the two-position flip bench. This bench can seat 4 individuals, and each seating position features a Canadian Motor Vehicle Safety Standards approved retractable seatbelt. Should the need arise, this bench is easily flipped up to gain access to the secondary cot. Under normal circumstances, the main and secondary cots should be removed from the ambulance via the rear doors. However, should the need arise, the cots can be taken out through the side door, but the following procedures should be followed. First, flip the secondary rear-facing seat up and out of the way. Then raise the head end of the secondary cot, and now remove the primary cot. The secondary cot can be removed in a similar fashion. The interior storage compartments are fabricated from durable thermalite panels, integrated with a structurally sound extruded aluminum track. The compartment shelves are easily removed. Simply pop the plexiglass windows up and slide them out. The shelves can be removed by extracting the retaining screws. The medical control center contains the primary oxygen outlet, permanent suction unit, thermostat controls for the environmental system, space for your portable suction unit, and accessory outlet. Below the medical control center is the attendant switch panel. Control switches for the cot lights, cabinet lights, heater, AC fans, the power air exhaust, and a spare for future expansion can be found here. Rounding out the storage compartment is an area for your radio equipment and space for upright or long equipment like a traction unit. Do not use screws that are longer than 1.5 inches when mounting radio equipment. Moving on to other equipment storage locations, we find a designated position for a stair chair on the side door. In the right rear corner of the ambulance are the kit shelves. They're equipped with Velcro tie-downs and can be moved up or down as required. Below the kit shelves is the hot water heater. Adjust the directional louvers as required. This is the air conditioner. Once again, adjust the louvers as dictated by the situation. There are 2 oxygen outlets in the patient compartment. As mentioned previously, there's one outlet in the medical control center, while the second is to the left of the 2-position flip bench. The main oxygen supply is located horizontally on the floor at the front of the patient compartment. The oxygen regulator is accessible through this portal. The portable oxygen bottles are located behind the primary rear-facing seat. Ensure that the upper retainer is fastened finger-tight. In concluding our tour of the Sprint interior, we find two intravenous holders, one on the cabinet wall and one on the other side wall. The next two sections of this video will detail the charging system and provide hints and procedures required to service some of the more high-profile items found in the Sprint. First, the charging system. The charging system is without question the most important aspect of your new ambulance. A thorough understanding of the charging system and proper maintenance will guarantee durability. The charging system consists of 5 major components located in 4 areas of the Sprint. These components are the factory battery system, the ambulance battery system, the alternator, the isolator, and the throttle. The factory battery system consists of twin 86-amp batteries located under the hood. Maintaining these batteries at peak efficiency is essential, since they're the only means of starting your ambulance. Any deficiency should be addressed immediately. The ambulance battery is a deep-cycle RV battery designed specifically for repeated discharge charge cycles. Once again, maintain this battery in peak condition. The third component is the 165-amp Lee-Snevel alternator. This is standard factory issue for all chassis destined for use as an ambulance. Since this is a factory item, we suggest you consult your nearest Ford dealership prior to attempting any repairs. Always keep a ready supply of Ford Part E8US-8620-B1A alternator belts on hand for the RV cutaway, and Part E8US-8620-BA for the E350 truck chassis. Then there is the isolator. The isolator is located in the electrical control center. This component electrically isolates the factory battery system from the ambulance battery. This allows the alternator to charge both systems independently, but will not allow one system to discharge the other. The last component is the throttle. The throttle is used to maintain an appropriate engine RPM that will allow the alternator to efficiently maintain an adequate charge for both battery systems. The throttle must be activated whenever the Sprint is under electrical stress, like sitting at the scene of an emergency. Never use the throttle as a means of warming up the engine. Here are a few tips that should aid in servicing the charging system. When the ambulance is under full load, the throttle should maintain an engine RPM of 1200. To adjust the RPM, you must gain access to the throttle actuator by removing the interior engine cover. Then, adjust the set screw on the back of the throttle actuator until the desired RPM is reached. The ammeter is located in the driver's console and indicates the rate of charge or discharge of the ambulance battery. If the ammeter shows that the ambulance battery is discharging while lightly loaded, or if after a reasonable amount of time the gauge indicates that the ambulance battery is still charging, have the charging system serviced immediately. This section of the video will deal with some of the more common items that require some degree of servicing. Specifically, we'll discuss cleaning the interior, changing the oxygen bottle, adjusting the oxygen bracket for different size oxygen bottles, accessing the spare tire, servicing the air conditioner, servicing the heater, electrical troubleshooting and console servicing, servicing the forewarn light assemblies, door adjustments and preventative maintenance, jack points, tow hook locations. First, let's look at cleaning the interior. As mentioned earlier, the interior of your ambulance consists primarily of thermalite panels. Never use solvent-based products since this could damage the finish of the panels. Simply use a mild detergent and warm water. If required, all backrests are easily removed to facilitate cleaning in behind the backrests. Changing the oxygen bottle. To remove the oxygen bottle, follow this general procedure. Shut off the oxygen. Loosen the oxygen bracket collar. Slide the cylinder partway out. Remove the oxygen line. Remove the regulator. Remove the collar. Then slide the tank out. Now, adjusting the oxygen bracket for various tank sizes. The oxygen bracket has been designed to accommodate 3 sizes of oxygen tanks: the M steel, M aluminum, and MM aluminum. Adjustment for the tank sizes is by way of the foot assembly at the rear of the bracket. Access to this is accomplished by removing the oxygen cover. Adjust the foot assembly as required. When reinstalling the cover, we suggest using a silicone seal to prevent water seepage. Accessing the spare tire. Getting at the spare tire is a feature that has been much improved from previous Sprint ambulances. First, remove the portable stretcher. Then loosen and remove the retaining nut. Next, remove the access panel by the rear-facing attendant flip seat and pull out the hold-down bolt. The tire is now free of its securement device. Servicing the air conditioner. First, remove the louver panel. Next, disconnect the retainment brackets. Open the side compartment door and remove the hose cover. All AC lines are of sufficient length to pull the unit clear of the cabinet. To service the expansion valve, you must first discharge the unit. Remove the line running to the expansion valve and then replace the valve. Evacuate the system. When reinstalling, charge the system with R12 Freon to a minimum of 4.00 pounds and a maximum of 4.50 pounds. Inspect for leaks. Servicing the heater. As shown previously, the heater is located in the right rear corner of the patient compartment. To gain access for servicing, remove the heater cover, extract the heater mount screws, disconnect the heater hoses, and then disconnect all electrical connections. The heater can now be removed for servicing. When reinstalling, check the engine coolant level and check for airlocks. Consult a professional as required. Electrical troubleshooting and console servicing. The owner's manual contains comprehensive wiring diagrams, wire codes, Entralec connections, breaker codes, and other relevant information. The manual is your most important reference tool. The heart of the ambulance's electrical system is the Electrical Control Center, or ECC. Access to the ECC is via the exterior compartment on the left side. There are 3 harness groups that originate in the ECC. See your owner's manual for details. Note that the main harness is located above the storage cabinets and can be accessed by removing the padded electrical valance. The console can easily be serviced by disconnecting the quick-release latches. If complete console removal is required, you must disconnect the Entralec connectors. Servicing the forewarn light assemblies. To service the speaker, you must first remove the forewarn beauty ring. Then remove the grill. Remove the forewarn light. Final disassembly is by extracting the 3 fasteners connecting the housing to the bracket. By removing the 4 front screws and the 4 rear screws, you'll be able to take the speakers out of the housing. Door adjustments and preventative maintenance. All doors employ a piano hinge. These hinges should be lubricated at service intervals with a silicone lubricant. As well, all keyholes should be serviced with a Teflon or silicone spray. Should the bulb seal be damaged, it's easily replaced. The side door check arm should be white greased at every service interval. If it needs to be replaced, simply remove these 2 screws and the whole assembly will drop out. The rear door hatchback gas shocks are maintenance-free. However, you may wish to adjust the angle of the hatchback when it is open. This is easily accomplished. Securely block the hatchback door and loosen the adjustment bolts. The angle can now be adjusted as required by sliding the assembly up or down. You may find that after extended use, the entry-exit doors do not fit as snugly as they once did. This is easily rectified by repositioning the striker bolt. Loosen the striker and adjust until the door seals tightly. Jack points. If it's necessary to jack up the Sprint, see the manufacturer's sticker located in the front right exterior compartment for general jacking instructions. Crestline suggests that when jacking up the rear of the Sprint, the jack be situated in such a way that the jack handle is at the side of the vehicle rather than the rear. Following this will ensure you're not under the vehicle when jacking up the Sprint. And finally, tow hooks. For general towing, Crestline has installed tow hooks on the rear of the vehicle. Your chassis owner's manual contains explicit information concerning general towing procedures and the steps that should be followed if you have to pull from the front of the Sprint. The final section of this video will cover both exterior and interior modifications for 1991. These modifications consist of the following: primary and secondary lighting sequence, cab assist handles, dual rear doors, rear exterior lighting changes, entry-exit chain latch, CPR board in second opening rear door, door assist handles, kit shelf area updates, patient compartment fire extinguisher location, O2 bracket foot adjustment access port, holes and tracking for radio, plexiglass removal, fusee location, and driver's console. The Sprint Modular Ambulance emergency flashers have been configured to include a primary lighting sequence that includes all exterior lights except the 2 rear amber lights, and a secondary lighting sequence that includes the grille flashers and 2 rear amber lights only. New to the 91 Sprint are cab assist handles that are located on each side of the chassis cab. The Sprint exterior now features dual rear swing-out doors, complete with windows and door stops. Due to the presence of the dual rear doors, the Sprint's exterior rear lighting has been updated to include red and amber flashers above the rear doors. Also, when entering or exiting your ambulance through the rear dual doors, the second opening door is equipped with a chain latch for convenience. In addition, the CPR board is located on the second opening dual rear door and is fastened securely by the Velcro strap provided. Finally, all of the Sprint's full-size entry-exit doors have assist handles to aid in the entry or closure of the doors. Now, let's move to the Sprint patient compartment. In the right rear corner is the standard configuration for the kit shelf area, which includes a recommended location for the first response kit, a designated area for the portable suction unit, and an additional 12-volt outlet. Below the secondary rear-facing seat is the patient compartment fire extinguisher. The O2 bracket foot assembly is easily accessed through this panel located by the rear-facing seat base. The radio equipment mounting area now has accommodations to assist in the routing of the radio cabling. For additional instructions, consult your Sprint owner's manual. The plexiglass windows are easily removed. Simply remove the clear plastic post and screw assemblies. Then, pop the window up and slide them out. Moving to the front cab area of the Sprint, we find the fusee, which is located on the lower left driver's side area. Next, we find the driver's console. The console has been redesigned by Crestline to give the driver the same complete and easy control over all electrical functions of the ambulance. This concludes your orientation of the Sprint. The Sprint Modular Ambulance is the product of extensive engineering and time-tested expertise. Spend time with the Sprint. The more familiar you are with the Sprint's many facets, the better service it will provide and the better service you'll provide. If you have any questions or concerns not covered by this orientation, please consult your owner's manual. If you still can't adequately answer your question, please contact Crestline Coach Limited, 802 57th Street East, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, S7K 5Z1, area code 306-934-8844.